again.
Another fun drink. This one's called a frog in a blender.
Ooh, that looks nice.
Really good.
Then you want to pass me a...
Pass you a
Good
what?
thing we have plenty. A lime,
garnish.
please.
Yeah, but you didn't cut it right.
Well, no, I want to put it in. I want to drop it in.
Oh.
You want to put it on the edge?
Yes.
Very nice.
Hello.
You know, I think you shorted me a little bit
Yeah.
here, sister.
Okay, so frog in a blender. Let's see.
There we go.
Yeah, so it's basically like a blended Cosmo,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that would be perfect for a hot summer day.
Yeah, very nice. A
So-
nice presentation. It's a nice red drink
Yes.
and a nice and slushy.
So we're talking about this cocktail today, and trying different cocktails. And there's something that kind of correlates with that while women go to a bar and try different things.
Safety. So a friend of mine at work, one of the lovely ladies that I work with, mentioned that she had an experience a couple weeks ago at a bar in North Park. And that was that she and her two girlfriends were at the bar. They had consumed a couple of drinks. They were still in the process of drinking their drinks. They got up to dance. They came back. The girl who works in law enforcement did not finish her drink that had been sitting there unattended because she knows better. The other girl finished her drink and became immediately...
But they left and came back.
They were
They left
dancing.
their drink.
Right, they were unattended. So they were dancing, they came back. So one of the girls finished her drink and immediately became extremely inebriated. And that was because someone had come by and put something in her drink. So the message is to be very, very careful. If you ever are going to walk away from your drink, either have a girlfriend, excuse me, monitor your drink and make sure that they watch and make sure no one comes by and puts something in it. Or when you come back, you don't finish your drink, or you finish your drink before you go off and dance. So you have to be, nowadays, you have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, when I used to go out when I was younger, a couple years ago when I was younger, I would not really let anybody buy me a drink, or I would, it would just depend, but really, especially if you're going to go down to Cabo or go somewhere else, New Orleans, somewhere where everybody's partying and you're meeting all these people that you've never seen before in your life, I'd rather pay for my drinks and know that it's coming straight from the bartender to me. I was just in New York with some girlfriends, and one of my girlfriends, really smart girl, said that someone had bought them a drink, and they went over, and she actually walked over to the bartender, and she kind of said, "Oh, I want to make sure you got the order right." So she didn't want to look like she was being suspicious, but she wanted to be alert and make sure that the drink goes from the bartender to her and wasn't stopping at a third party for someone to pour something in. So I thought that was very, very smart of her. And she said, I didn't want to look, overly anal or suspicious, but at the same time, I wanted to make sure I was safe. So I thought that was really smart. You can, if someone wants to buy it for you, have an excuse or reason to go over to the bartender, or make sure it goes straight from the cocktail waitress to you.
But here's the thing, you don't need to ever be concerned or ashamed about advocating for your own safety. So if you have any question in your mind as to what the origin of that drink was, or who might have touched it prior to it getting to you, don't feel ashamed about ever saying, hey, you know what, someone bought me this drink, but I don't know this person, and, could you make me another, or whatever the case may be. If you're not comfortable, if you feel something, that instinct that we so often ignore because we don't want to be ashamed or embarrassed about our actions, don't ignore it. It's very, very important that you listen to your instincts and that you put your safety as your primary concern,
Yeah.
really.
Another thing is when you are with some friends and you are going to go out and have a couple cocktails, have your buddy and have a plan for the end of the evening. Obviously, you're having a plan for not drinking and driving. You've got cab fare in your pocket or a separate part of your purse that's sitting there in cash and ready to go in a cab when you are ready to go home, whenever that is, however many drinks later. But it's separate and it's ready, and you will always make that decision consistently. But the other thing is to have a buddy, and just to know that you and your buddy know what your ultimate plan is, and know that we're going to leave together at the end of the night. We've gone to 2 bars, but we're going to be leaving together. We're not going to be leaving separately. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm tired, I'm going to go home. You go ahead and see you later. I think we should take care of each other and have a plan so that nothing unfortunate happens in any way to any of us, and I don't just mean drinking and driving, I mean other kinds of victimizations that can happen to women,
Absolutely.
and does happen all the time to women. So if you've got that buddy and you have a plan, you don't deviate from it, you know, and maybe you substitute another friend in if someone says, oh, really, I'm going to go, I have to get up early, whatever. But have that plan before you've had a couple drinks where you can't make that good decision for yourself.
So in this circumstance, this just happened 3 weeks ago here in San Diego. This is something that we all need to be aware of and be concerned about. And so had the second girl opted to drink her drink, who knows what would have happened, but she didn't, and she was able to
So her
care
buddy was
for
there.
exactly. She was able to care for the person who suffered the reaction and the effects of whatever was put in her drink.
And in addition to all those things that can happen to yourself and your own, you know, your physical being, there's also robbing you. There's also a cab driver stealing your identity by copying your credit card numbers and things like that. So we're going to talk about that in another segment, actually, identity theft and all the ways you can protect yourself, especially if you're going out to restaurants and such. We've got lots of really good tips on that.
From the expert, Matt.
From some really great experts, yeah, in financial crimes. So anyway,
Savvy
there we go. We're not
sisters.
driving, so it's all good.
Be safe.